Hello folks! It's Dinny Grayson and I'm here to show you how I transform into Shego from Kim Possible. Is that my intro? I don't know, I don't remember it very well. It's my first time doing... Nope, it's my second time doing the intros. You know, you gotta stay consistent, but I didn't check it. It's nighttime. It's the first time I'm doing these stuff at night. I really should just do it in the day. But anyway, let's go. Shego, one of my childhood crushes, and I'll show you how to be her. Okay, so like I said, I was doing this at night. Not only am I editing it at night, but I'm filming it at night. I'm a morning person. I should not do this. Anyway, we're gonna start with painting our face into Shego's skin color. Now, Shego's skin color is this very strange shade of green where it's so light, it's almost white, but it's not. So what I do is I get a lot of white body paint and then I put a tiny bit of green on it, and that's what I use. While I paint the first layer of the skin tone on my face, I wanted to address some of the questions I've been getting regarding my makeup tutorials, and the one I get the most is really, why don't I say what brands I'm using for makeup and such? Well, number one reason is I'm a firm believer of using whatever the heck you have. For the longest time, actually, until now, I really just wait for Christmas and for people to gift me makeup, and that's what I use for the rest of the year. I don't get to choose it, yeah, sometimes I do buy a palette here and there, but I really just use what I have and just try and be resourceful. Another reason is because what works for my skin may not work for you. Case in point, the body paint I'm using now is called Snazaroo. It's a very affordable brand here in my country locally, and the only reason I'm using it is because it was the only thing I could get during this whole pandemic. I usually use Golden Phoenix body paints, which I get from a store called Deavir, but I can't seem to find how to buy from them online, and I can't find the Golden Phoenix body paint anywhere online. Snazaroo is actually a brand that I know a lot of local cosplayers use, and it seems to work very well for them. But for me, Snazaroo has always been a tad too thick, too creamy, and it just doesn't sit on my skin very well. As you can see, with me applying it here, it looks really thick and oily, and my skin just does not work with it. Usually when I'm doing body paint, and I think if you've seen my Jester makeup tutorial and my Double Trouble makeup tutorial, you'll see that the body paint takes to my skin very well. That I was using the Golden Phoenix body paint, and I don't know, my skin just likes it, I guess, and it doesn't like Snazaroo. I'm not saying not to use Snazaroo. I would recommend it because I know a lot of my friends love using Snazaroo. But for me to recommend it, I'm not so certain because it doesn't work very well for me. But it was the only thing I could get this quarantine. So just try stuff out, you know, see what works for you and see what you can get your hands on. Another question I get asked a lot, specifically for body paint, is how I make the body paint look so natural or smooth on your skin. I used to do the method where I apply it with a brush, just like you saw, and then I use a sponge to kind of soften everything and get rid of the brush strokes, but I find that the sponge usually takes away some of the body paint you just laid down. So instead, you can see me here, I actually like to use the brush and kind of use it as a sponge where I'm just dabbing it on. I'll admit, I don't really know what it does. I'm just a weirdo that cosplays characters and such. I don't know the science behind it, but I find that if you're using the same brush that still has like leftover paint on it, instead of pulling away the paint from, let's say, a sponge that you haven't used yet, or a sponge that only has a bit of paint in it, the brush will still remove the brush strokes because you're doing the dabbing motions instead of sliding it onto your skin. And since it already has so much paint in it, it's not really gonna take away anything. In fact, it might even out some of those splotchy places in your body paint application. Does that make sense? You know, I'm not sure. It works on me, I think. So try it out. It will work for you. Okay, so afterwards, I am applying a very, very, very generous coat of loose powder on top of everything. This is a translucent loose powder. I am applying more than I usually do because, like I mentioned earlier, Snazaroo and my skin just, they don't like each other. I want to like you, Snazaroo, but I don't know why you don't like me. Anyway, to compensate for that, I put a ton of powder on top just so that everything kind of hopefully blends or bakes together and it'll look nicer. So now that we've set the body paint onto our face, the next step is to contour. Now, with this skin tone in particular, it is so important to contour because with how light we went with the skin tone, it really just erases every single shadow on your face. Like before adding any of this contour, my face looked so flat. So we want to bring back those natural shadows and dimensions. And so what I'm doing is I'm using a green eyeshadow. It's a cool tone green. I didn't want to put anything too warm because her skin tone is very pale. And if I put something warm, I feel like it'll just look too strange. So I am just following kind of my natural contours. So around the nose, although I am making the tip a lot smaller because I just felt like Shego would have that. They're drawn with very like angular shapes and noses, so we're gonna make a thin nose bridge. Then I'm gonna move into applying some contour underneath my cheekbones. I'm actually going a little darker than I usually do just because Shego's face is pretty intense. I mean, she's a very intense woman. She's great, she's awesome. And so I kind of just want to make sure that I give off that vibe with the makeup. So we're going a little heavier with the contour. I also added contour to my temples and next to my eye sockets, just again to bring back all of these natural shadows that my face has. This may be different for you. You might want to change the way your face looks a little bit, and that's fine. You can check out my other videos on how to really alter your face. So back to the contour, don't forget to do your jawline, and I'm also doing her lower lip especially because we know that she has like the same toned lip. And I'm also gonna be doing two shadows in the corner of the lips, and you'll see why later. Now I am going in with another contour shade. When I contour, I like to use a minimum of 2 shades. This shade is basically just a deeper green. I just don't like to stick with just one contour color, especially for unnatural skin tones, because I want to create more dimension. So here, I'm literally just going over the contours I've already made and just making them deeper and more contrasting. Now for Shego's eyebrows. Shego's eyebrows are beautiful. They are thick, very black, and very fierce. So right now, I am drawing using a green eyeshadow first because going in with black is a little scary. So I'm just creating that shape with a very high arch, not ridiculously high, not like Lola Bunny high, but it's pretty angular, just like a lot of what Shego's face is gonna be. Does that make sense? What am I saying? It's nighttime, why did I do this? Anyway, now I'm going over the brow that we already drew in green with black eyeshadow. Don't be afraid to go really dark with this because Shego's hair is black and there's a lot of it. So if you go in with like a dark gray or any other shade that's not black really, it's gonna get really lost. You're gonna look a little crazy first with these eyebrows, but it'll balance itself out later, don't worry. Now for the eyes, I'm going in with a deep green eyeshadow to first define that outer corner and make it kind of like a triangle going upwards. This is because we're gonna wing the eyeliner later. I'm also adding that green under the lower lash, and then I'm blending it out just so that's not this harsh line. Now that the green is added on, I'm going in with black yet again. This time, I'm concentrating the black at the very outer corner. With the green, we kind of started in the outer corner and pulled it towards the center. With the black, really just stick to the outer corner and blend it slowly inward, but really don't go past the center of your eye. And go really slowly with the black. Don't apply too much at once because it will just be a mess, and then you're gonna have to do the whole thing again because you can't just wipe it off because you have body paint underneath. And then I will also line the lower lash line with black, and to complete this eye look, we're gonna use white eyeliner to line our waterline because Disney characters have huge eyes. Always have. Now for the eyeliner, which is really the star of the show, we're gonna create a very long and large, sharp wing. I've just kind of followed my natural eye shape for the rest of the eye, but for the wing we're going a little dramatic and just smoothing out that how the wing connects to the rest of the eyeliner that we just did. Then curl your lashes, add mascara, and then take your time to apply some false lashes. I'm showing you one here on camera, but you're gonna bet that I did the other one off camera. For Shego, I actually did a little trick with the eyelash where you can see me applying it kind of normally here, but I'm gonna lift that outer corner and place it upward. This is because we really want Shego's eyes to just go upward, like with the wing, to kind of follow the wing. So when you put your eyelash up there, it's gonna do the same shape. It's gonna follow that shape and follow that line, and it's just gonna look more fierce. For her lips, Shego's upper lip is black while her lower lip is green / the same skin tone. I start by lining my natural lip line with this apparently blue lipstick. I thought it was black. I really did, and by the time I put it on, it was too late, so I just kept going with it. I have a very pronounced Cupid's bow, whereas Kim Possible characters in general have that very thick center lip. So instead of following my Cupid's bow, I'm actually drawing a straight line across that. And then something I like to do at the corners of the lip, which is why we put the shadow there in the first place, is to just lift those corners a bit. I'm just retouching the lower lip as well with more body paint and a bit of eyeshadow. And then we're turning that black using eyeshadow. If you have black lipstick, just use that. So here is the eyeshadow. I'm just shading the corner and the bottom part of the lip just to give it more shape and so it doesn't get lost with the rest of the body paint. Now, as you guys might know, my final step is highlight, and it is my favorite. I think it really just brings the look together, so I'm putting it on my cheekbones, the tip of my nose bridge, my chin, and underneath the eyebrows, our very arched eyebrows. Of course, we can't forget the inner corners, and this is it. Let me just put on my wig. And ta-da! This is the final look for Shego. See, eyebrows don't look that crazy anymore. Thank you so much for putting up with me with this video. I promise to never make a video at nighttime again. This was such a bad idea. My mind is like a scrambled egg. It's nuts in here. Anyway, I hope that you liked this tutorial. Maybe you found it entertaining. Maybe I should do it all the time at night. I'm not gonna do that. If you want to be part of those who pick which characters I do makeup tutorials for, hop on over to my Patreon. Even the lowest tier, which is the chameleon tier, get to have a say on which character I will be doing next. We also have a lot of other fun things there that I can't remember right now because it's nighttime. It's past my bedtime. It's 9 p.m., which is past my bedtime. Anyway, here's one last clip of me being very strange at night. I was so amused with the black upper lip. It's fun! Anyway, thanks guys. See y'all next time.